Hi everyone, it's Imran here from DesireToTRADE.com, and today I just wanted to shoot a quick video to talk about something that's really important in trading fear. So basically in trading there are 4 types of fear, and I want to talk about each of them today. The first fear is the fear of missing out. Then, of course, you have the fear of loss. You also have the fear of not being right. And the last fear, which is the worst one in my case, is the fear of letting a profit turn into a loss. So to start with, the fear of loss. While in trading, of course, you cannot avoid it. You can lose money. So fear of loss is always present. They did a cool experiment in a university in the United States, which I referenced in my article. They basically looked at participant. They gave shock to participant, and they were trying to see the result of the whole shock. And what happened is pretty interesting. What happens is that participant prefer to have a bigger shock than to have a shock that is at an unknown time. So that shows that basically fear is influencing decision making, and that's pretty important. So if you have fear of loss in trading, then your decision will be different, and that's a small problem. Now, what you can do about it is to plan in advance. So if you have a plan in advance, you'll have a lot more. It's going to be a lot easier to not have fear of loss. And also, if you know that loss is only temporary, if you know that in average your strategy is a winning one, it's going to be a lot easier to manage your loss and not fear them. Our second fear is the fear of missing out. This happens when you see a trade on a chart and you want to enter. You know it's not maybe a right setup, but you think you just don't want to miss the opportunity. So you take a trade anyway. And this is pretty dangerous. A lot of inexperienced traders lose money that way. And I did the exact same thing, so it's fine. What you have to do about it? Well, you have to plan in advance and know exactly when you're supposed to enter. And I guess you get used to it. After trading for a few months or a year, you get used to not entering trade that don't fit your trade strategy. So that takes time for sure. Now the next fear is the fear of turning a profit into a loss. So this is pretty hard when you see a trade and then it gets into profit in the beginning, but not long after it gets into a loss. That's disappointing for real. So what happened in that case? Well, you have to again plan and stick to the process. If you know that this happened, you can always use a strategy to take profit earlier, at least part of your profit earlier. That's a strategy I mentioned on my website, the T1, T2 approach, where you have a take profit that's closer to the entry and one that's more far from the entry. So you can take profit earlier and then the rest of your profit later. So you could consider that. But of course, you have to live with the fear of missing out. But of course, you have to live with the fear of turning a profit into a loss. That happens sometimes. But if you know that your process is good, then you'll have a lot less trouble with it. Now the last fear is the fear of not being right. And that's pretty important. There's something you have to understand here. When you trade, you're not necessarily right. But the question is, do you prefer to be right? Or do you prefer to make profit? I prefer to profit. So in that case, what you have to realize is you cannot be right all the time. And even if you're not right, even if you take a trade and then it goes in the opposite direction, that's fine. Because in the end, the goal is to make money in trading. And one thing you have to realize is you have to become an execution expert. That's how I call it. You have to execute your trade perfectly. Whether it's a right trade or wrong trade. If it fits your strategy, you have to execute it. No matter what. And that's what I'm working on right now. Sometimes I see a trade. It's not always easy to enter. Sometimes I don't want to enter. I feel like it's not going to be a good setup or something. But I don't really have the choice and I just enter it anyway. And in the end, it's often rewarding. Or not always, but most of the time, the bigger outcome at the end is rewarding. So that's how it works. So thanks a lot guys for watching that video. It was really quick. I just wanted to mention that this article is available on DesireToTRADE.com. So if you want to get all the reference, all more details about the fear of trading and the 4 types of fear, go check out that on DesireToTRADE.com. and that's gonna help you, I'm sure. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.